So you want to learn how to draw? Well, you've come to the right place. I'm Robbie Greer from Rusticated Art, and this is my Fun Times Family Art playlist where you get to draw along with me from the comfort of your own home. Now, in this week's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to shade a face. And this is part one of a two-part tutorial. Now be sure to watch through to the end, because not only will I be showing you all the techniques that I've learned along the way, but I'm also going to be giving a shout out to another very special channel. So what do you reckon? You ready to get started? Come on then. Today we're going to be doing a tutorial on how to get the shading techniques. I've done videos on how to do eyes, ears, nose and mouth, etc. Hair. This one is just basically how to get the shading right. Now, from time to time you'll get a photo, a commission, and the client will send you a photo. Now, it's always very hard to draw from photos because they're never ever perfect, so you can't always see everything. But in this case, I've just downloaded one from Pixabay, and this is the photo here. And really, all I want to do is just show you how to go about getting the shading, how we do that. It's not about getting the proportions, where the eyes should go, where the nose should go. That's a different tutorial, but this one is just about how to get the shading in. Because, like I say, from time to time you're going to get a reference photo, even if it's your own reference photo that you want to work to. It's a lot quicker to be able to just trace it out, the outlines I mean, and then work from there. And I mean, if it is a commission, well, why not just use the photo? So anyway, I've got an outline of the image that we're going to do. Now what I like to do is to start off and just gently shade in, holding the pencil flat on its side, because we've got to have a background. And it's really not about hair either. I chose a photo without a lot of hair in it because I don't want to spend too much time doing something that I've covered in other videos, but that's all right. So I'm just quickly going in, putting down some graphite, laying down the graphite, and you see where it's a bit darker in places. So all we're doing is just doing this because we're going to be using our blending stick quite a bit here. It's quite prominent in this area, where the cheeks. So going around here, just going roughly. We're going to be taking out and putting in. I'm just using as I said, I'm just using a 2B. I don't want it to go too dark for this exercise, this tutorial. I'm going to start just by putting in the eyes. They're sort of watching over me. I always like to do the eyes first. Keeping an eye on things. And this is definitely one of those occasions where you just take your time. Don't worry about making mistakes. What I find with portraits, just about with every drawing I do, there's always a point where you think, it doesn't look right. Whatever you do, don't stop. Don't screw it up, don't rub it out, don't start again. Because I'll tell you, after a while, when you've been doing it for a while, you start to realise that you just keep going. When you keep going, eventually you'll get there. I mean, it might only be just a little bit, just a little bit that's out. It might be just the angle of the eye, or something really small. So why start again and do it all over from 100% when when it's just a little thing that is the problem. Now I just like to just put a little bit just on the eye there, because we're going to blend that in above that, where that crease is. I should have the reference photo here so you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, we'll leave that there like that. Stop and have a look. Don't try and rush it. Take your time. Okay. thing to remember that there's no real lines, there's no hard lines. You know, and I always say, you know, we have to use lines to transfer the image onto the paper. Putting down some graphite. When you're doing portraits and that, it's a little bit hard to use artistic license because it's got to look like the image that you're drawing. Just trying to get my hand so you can see what I'm actually drawing. So just put a bit of paper down there so I'm a bit further away. My pencil's a bit short. I'd rather have it out here so that you can see better. Anyway, just putting in the outline of the lips here. Now, just going to use my blending brush. Just going in here now. Just softly blending it. Now I'm going to use my blending stump. Come around here. Most of it you can do with the blending stump. As long as you've got a bit of graphite on your stump. Remember, you just keep going. Even if you're not happy with it, doesn't matter. I can see the lines here that I used to the traceable. So I'm just going to blend them in just softly. You slowly just bringing it all in. It's a bit more in shade on this side because his head's tilted. So if you look at the nose, see down here there's more shade than that side. And this here, this cheek here, is darker than this side because of the light. That's alright. Slowly building it, putting down layers. And by making this darker here, it gives you like a curved effect. And then up here, so in this area here, the eyelid, we leave that a little bit lighter. Because, you know, remember the eye obviously is round, so it's sticking out. And that's why you get these creases and lines, because of the eyeball being round. So really all I'm trying to do is just put in the darks, the shaded areas. And we're just slowly building it up. Once again, I don't want to get into too much detail. I'm just trying to show you, you know, a simple way to shade a portrait. And what this does, just by doing this, it's just showing you, you know, like, this is how you get some form, the texture and everything is, you know, it's creating the shape of the face. So eventually the lines won't be showing. And I'll go with the way that, see the cheek here, well, I'm going to be going that way. You see, when you look really close, you see that, you know, that it's a little bit darker there. And it's only a little bit, you know. When you think about it, the face is just the skin around the bone, the skull and the jaw. Just skin and bones. We can't see the bones. And of course, it's got to be darker in places. This is a great example of the different tones, your mid-tones, your light tones, and your dark tones. So a bit darker in there, that's like a mid-tone there, then a light tone there. And here's sort of a darker, it's not dark, but it is darker, where the skin sort of folds. You can just put a bit of graphite on some paper, which I quite often do, and then rub your stump over the graphite. And here, you know, if you need some more graphite on your stump. Now here, it's a little bit darker, so I'm gonna just put a bit of graphite in here, a little bit, oh, not too much. I'll use my darker one. See, we're sort of creating the roundness of the face. You just want to put a little bit more definition in here. It runs from there, and that from the edge of that lip, which goes to there, so it goes up a bit. Push that up. Right. And if you look down here, you can sort of see it's a little bit darker down the bottom there. Put a little bit more in there, like a little sort of a dimple. Sort of just, you know, doing a circular sort of a motion, very, very lightly. come in here and do the same with my blending stuff, just circular motion. Just like the other, any other drawing, it's all about layers, layer and everything. And we want them to sort of blend, I don't want it to be just like that there, how that's light and that's darker. We'll take out the bits that we need to highlight. I want to cover the face, and then we'll take out a bit that we need to take out. In other words, we take out some graphite to create the highlights. It's going to go darken that up a bit. I'm just going over here like this. Remember, the light's coming that way, so this side's going to be a bit darker. Down there. I'm going over the hair as well, because we don't want to see white. Alright, let's start blending that in. Just a little bit darker in there and there. Now I'm going to use my brush. I'm going to use my little fine brush here and just gently blend that. See? It's just sort of making it look that it's like it's round. Same over here. And that eye. And try and make it just a bit more prominent. So just slowly one consistent line. And then it's a little bit darker in here. You come down to the tear duct. Down in there. And there. Just doing it very lightly, just gently. Shadow under here. Yeah. And on this side, the eye there. We're not putting in any eyelashes because, quite frankly, I can't see any, but there will be some there. We won't worry about that. Now that bit there comes over and then down. And there's like a little line going there. And then there is a prominent line there. And then there, where the shadow is. Then this here, I'm going to put some eyebrows in, but I'm just putting in the shadows, the shading, and it comes around. If you look on the, see, it sort of comes around, so we're going to go up here, a bit darker, and then come around like this. Same over here. I'm just going to brush away, there's a little bit of crumb on there. Because when we're brushing it like this, we're just sort of spreading out the graphite. I'm going to go and do the lip. I really don't want to see a line like that, but what I'm trying to create here is, I am going to use my Tombow, because I just want to take out that line. Brush away the crumb, and that'll just make it look, you know how lips are. There seems to always be a faint white line. I'm just working up the reference photo, and it's very hard to see if there are any eyebrows, sorry, but there will be, because he's a kid, so. I decided to end it here today, but otherwise the video is just going to get too long. Be sure to come back for part 2. Well, I hope you enjoyed that and got some value out of it, and I really appreciate you watching it through to the end. Let's check out this week's shout out. Now let me introduce you to artwork by Dimitri Art NeoAlbios. Now I've been visiting this channel for quite some time now, and his artwork is just amazing. He covers all sorts of heroes and stars and just everything. Portraiture work, he does watercolors, he does a bit of sculpturing. Oh no, he's one of these guys that just can draw anything. He does grayscale, he does color. He's a big Star Wars fan. One of the things that really blow me away is the way he uses a ballpoint pen. He's just, look at this. Here's the ballpoint pen. I thought ballpoint pens were only good for writing. Well, no, he's amazing. So when you get the chance, jump on over there, check him out. Tell Robbie from Rusticated-Artist sent you. I'm sure I know he'll be really pleased to see you. Oh, I've got a lot. I've still got a lot to see. I thought I've seen quite a few, but I didn't realise he had this many. Look, he's even got a portrait of Mr. Beast. Or couple. He's an amazing artist, and I know you're really going to enjoy his channel. I'll leave a link in the description below. Now, if you like what you're seeing and you're getting some value, well, now's about the time to hit that like button. Give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, and share it with your friends, because if you're enjoying it, chances are your friends are going to enjoy it just as much. And if you haven't yet subscribed but would like to, hit that red button. Ring the bell. That way you'll get notified every time a video comes out. So if you're new to my channel, you haven't been here before, this video over here I think will be the one for you to watch next. Well, that's about it for this week, my friends. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you in part 2. Same time, same place.